Okay, so last time we finished off, I got a scholarship offer from my mom to go to a community college, which couldn't have come at a better time because I was fast losing my money that I won in poker, I didn't have a job, and food was also running out. I mean, I wasn't really living on my own. I paid rent like about twice, and I was getting food from my grandma every week. I was just too young. I couldn't do it. My biggest accomplishment was probably growing a marijuana plant. Yep, that's about it. But the funny thing is, my mom told me I could go, and then a week after, I packed my stuff and everything, told everyone I was leaving, and she kind of flip-flops and says, you know what, I don't think this is a good idea. Like, what do you mean this isn't a good idea? I'm your son. Like, you can't flip-flop on your son. You really can't flip-flop on your son. So she had no choice. I got there, and the reason I figured out why she didn't want me coming was because I got in a little altercation with her husband. I mean, he sent me an email that I manipulate her. I sent him an email to go fuck his dead mother. I mean, it was just a huge mishap, and whatever shit happens, and I wasn't gonna apologize, and neither was he. So that was a dead issue. But she did rent me a nice room there. I was staying there. Started college as an international student. Don't ever do that. They rip you off for 10 times more. Say a kid has to pay 400 bucks per semester there, I'd have to pay 4,000. That's right, 4,000. 10 times more. It's really fucked up. Don't do it. Um, People say the states are so different from Canada. The only difference I noticed was Mexicans, and you could buy liquor from a convenience store. That's about it. Everything else was pretty much the same. Also, they had weed dispensaries, which was really nice. All you had to do was tell your doctor you have back pains. You really need a reason. You could buy really nice weed. Oh my god, that was definitely the best part. But I realized college wasn't my thing. It was just it was just stupid. I mean, I'm in business. I'm seeing like, how should I open a business? And this whole class we're just watching commercials. I'm like, what the fuck's the point of watching commercials? How am I going to become a businessman from watching commercials and analyzing commercials? It was just ridiculous. Math class, I mean, what am I going to be, a mathematician? English lit, like you're talking about the cave uh, allegory, whatever the fuck it was. It was just a waste of time. I realized they're robbing me for my cash. But at the same time, I was playing poker, which I always thought was going to be my thing. So I had no money. I had literally $0. I won $4 in a free roll from like 3,000 people. It turned out into 16 to 32. Next thing you know, I had $1,000. That was fun. But at the end of the day, I wound up losing it all. But I did get a nice pair of speakers, though, that's for sure. So, after I lost the money, I also had a problem with the roommate I was staying with. I mean, this guy was Asian. He was so picky about everything. He was always like, no fried cookies! Which meant like no fried cooking. He didn't want me cooking with olive oil on his stove or whatever, getting it dirty. How am I supposed to make food without olive oil? It's gonna burn up if I don't. This guy's such a fag. I hated him. He calls the police on me. I have to leave. What I hate about my mom and my parents, they always take shit from these fuck faces. Boy, he didn't do anything. Like, you want him out, give us until the end of the month. Like, that's how the deal is. You don't want him living here. You gotta give time to find a new place. But no, she's like, okay, leave for the night. Figure something tomorrow. And obviously, she wanted me to stay in a hotel. I'm not gonna stay in a hotel because that's just a waste of money. That's like $100. Even though it's not my money, I value my mom's money just like I value my own. So I wound up sleeping in her car because I couldn't go to her fucking house. And this was the second time I was homeless. It wasn't as bad as sleeping on a school roof, but it was still pretty bad. Wound up not really feeling good. Anyways, that was that. Um, so I'm thinking, okay, what are we gonna do now? Is she gonna rent me another room? We go to this neighborhood, it's like all Mexicans. I'm like, oh, this isn't bad, 400 a month. There's like pit bulls everywhere, cages on the fence. She's like, oh, I don't think so. She hates herself so much, it's ridiculous. She's like, she always wants to get in with white people, be a Republican, all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, you're not from that background. But anyways, there's no convincing her now. It's too late. She's gone. So, she decides to rent a studio. A studio for both of us. I'm a fucking 18, 19-year-old kid living with my mom in a studio. It's fucked up. Can't bring any girls. Can't smoke weed. Can't do anything. Ask her to leave. She knows what's going on. She's like, oh, okay, yeah, nice, buddy. I'm like, oh my god, now don't even leave. This is too awkward. Anyways, and she doesn't know how to manage life either. She's buying like $10 soaps. You can buy soap for $2. There's no need to spend $10 for a wad of soap. And anyways, how much money do you think she has? She works at a daycare. So yeah, she couldn't get it done, obviously, feeding us through. And yeah, she said, oh yeah, this would happen. This would happen. I told her I don't want to go to school anymore. She's like, okay, well then you're gonna have to go back to Canada. She said, you don't want to work, you don't want to go to school, you gotta go back. Well, she didn't say it like that. She basically said, you ain't gotta stay, but you do gotta get the hell up out of here. So that was the decision she made. But before that, I said, you know what, let me try school one more time. I went to this college where it was more hands-on. Took classes like auto mechanics. Didn't understand a word this guy was saying. The piston connects with tranny specs, and then the carbon fiber moves with the auto technology. And I'm like, what the fuck? Fuel, fire, oxygen? Huh? I don't need any of that shit. So then I decided to take massage therapy because I'm always pretty good with my hands. So I do the massage therapy thing, it's good. He's like, wow, you're a natural, man. You got great fingers, everything, blah, blah, blah. But then we got to this point where we had to massage asses. And the one day, I always get paired up with girls to massage everything else. The one day we had to massage asses, I got paired up with a dude. And I'm like, oh my god, I can't do this. I just walked out of the class, never came back. Also, anatomy was boring as fuck. So that was that. I told my mom that. She said, you don't like school, you don't want to work, you gotta go back. It's not that I didn't want to work. I couldn't work. I lost my citizenship when I got my Canadian one. I never dreamed I'd be going back to Canada. I said goodbye to everyone forever. I'm never coming back. There's no road back. I burned my bridge with my dad, everything. There's nowhere for me to stay. So I'm like thinking of places to go. I'm like, okay, let me try Vancouver. Let me try a new place. So I go to So I'm thinking, go to Vancouver. And my mom, she's not really looking to shell out any money. I'm thinking, how the fuck is this gonna work? So then the best thing that ever happened, my grandma tells me that dad was leaving for 3 months and that I could stay there if I wanted to. And I was like, yes, this is the best thing ever. So that's where it all ended. Me and my mom parted ways. She gave me $140 to go to Canada with. $140, no joke. 60 of that to use on a taxi. And that was that. So find out how I did from there on.